Naman davıts, 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 naman davıts. Good morning, everyone. I hope you and your families are doing well. Can you believe it? April has already arrived. As you know, we usually have the Shotsuki monthly memorial service at the temple on the first Sunday of each month. But today, because we are still under the shelter-in-place order, we are not able to have the April memorial at the temple. I feel really sorry for the Shotsuki families who cannot be at the temple with their friends today in memory of your loved ones as we are used to doing. I really miss it as well. But now I will read the Shotsuki names and chant the sutra, Sambutsuge, as we are accustomed to doing at the temple at the beginning of each month. All right, please join me in meditation. On this occasion of the Mountain View Buddhist Temple's April Shotsuki Memorial, we come before the image of Amida Buddha to express our sincere respect for and gratitude to the Shotsuki honorees. As I read the Shotsuki names, please join me in silent meditation so that we may think deeply on their continuing influence on our lives. Fujiko Abe, Harry Fuji, Shigeru Fuji, Naoe Fukuma, Ichihei Furusho, Juzaburo Furuzawa, Reverend Russell Hamada, Osamu Hirano, Tanejiro Hirano, Dorothy Horino, Robert Hoshida, Hiromichi Hoshino, Jun Ichikawa, Toshiko Ikebe, Tojiro Shimaru, Alec Ives, Shizuko Iwata, Toshiko Juda, Yotsuo Juda, Shigehito Kashima, Akira Kato, Hatsue Kato, Kathleen Miki Kobata, Setsuo Kuboyama, Kazuko Makishima, Tokio Maruyama, Ryu Masaki, George Matsuba, Kiwa Matsuba, Ryuichi Miyamoto, Emi Morishima, Fuji Nakano, Harue Nagatoishi, Jishichiro Nakano, Iwao Nakao, Kenjiro Nakashima, Henry Nishimura, Tomoe Okada, George Okashima, George Omori, Ochio Omori, Junpei Ozawa, Henry Liu, Margaret Sakino, James Sakuragi, Akiko Satake, Hiram Serra, George Shimamoto, John Shimizu, Tom Shimoguchi, John Shinseki, Taichiro Sugimoto, Jeffrey Swartwood, Ko Tachibana, Fumie Takahashi, Amy Takaki, David Takegami, Toshihiro Tanaka, Heidi Terada, Megan Young, Koichi Yamashita, Fred Yonemoto, Tsune Yonemoto, Tsune no Yoshiba. Please put your hands together in gassho to show our deepest feelings of gratitude to this deceased family and the friends who have brought us together today to encounter the Buddha Dharma. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu. Go gengi 者一月まり主公園よ開始のんぺ有略樹木如来よげ朝鮮無理小学大音コルジポ開門精進三昧知恵伊藤無量師匠慶右人体前年勝仏の会愚人人の空語外体無明よぐぬ世尊読む人の心死人と無量空君古代知恵人妙五妙因相神道大聖願が差仏最小法を可動生じ未不下脱不正上位解任精進行税三昧知恵以上五世特部不行志願一切空空一切大安慶始有仏百千の九万無量大小信如五者形容一切神道勝仏不如愚道見性不逆異如五者勝仏世界不不影無種殺道光明心性変心小国行税精進異人難慮両が差仏国土第一公衆奇妙道場超絶国如内音二無闘争がと愛民道達熱祭実法来生心熱症状伊藤が国慶楽安能公仏神妙世が心象発願の日力少々欲実法世尊知恵無下上領子孫知が信行下領心死食毒中画行精進人参非芸 Please put your hands together in gassho. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu. Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu. Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu. Again, I wish everyone a good morning. I know that many of you are stressed out and are tired because of the unprecedented situation our country finds itself in. No matter how much we try to tell ourselves that we should stay calm and mindful all the time, it is not at all easy to do when we are worried about our jobs, our kids' school, the state of our economy, and so on. I'm not sure there has been anything in recent history which has upset our peaceful daily lives more than this coronavirus pandemic. It is a global threat that is so new that even our leaders are unsure how we should handle it. That's surely why there have been so many people all over the world who over time have become easily irritated and capable of hurting others' feelings or even doing them harm. I'm sure you are aware that there have been many incidents all over the world where innocent people of Asian descent have been yelled at or even assaulted by others who ignorantly believe that coronavirus is the fault of those with Asian faces. Even here, many instances of discrimination are being reported. A few weeks ago, I was saddened by news from Cupertino where an Asian woman was at the grocery store in line at the register when the cashier accused her of bringing the virus into the store and told her to get out. Then other clerks and customers joined in and began shouting at her to get out of the store. It was heart-wrenching to think how sad and horrified the poor woman must have felt to have her neighbors show her their terrible ignorance in such a cruel way. In time of crisis, our community must meet this great challenge and stand in solidarity with those who are being mistreated or even physically attacked because of fear and ignorance. Now is the time to watch out for and support each other regardless of race and ethnicity as we overcome the COVID pandemic together. I realize that in our current situation, the fear of uncertainty is making many people impatient. Many of us who are usually kind and patient with others might become aggressive and hurt
the feelings of others by using hateful words they would usually avoid. Our founder Shinran said, "Under the influence of our karmic past, we human beings will do anything." We know this is true because we really don't know what we would do if faced with a situation at that time. So we should also take care not to hurt the feelings of others even when we are feeling stressed. It helps to be mindful of Shinran's words and to remember the teaching of Golden Chain, say pure and beautiful words, think pure and beautiful thoughts, and do pure and beautiful deeds. No one should ever discriminate against another just because we are feeling stressed out. Of course, discrimination is not just limited to this case. Over the past few years, there have been quite a few hate crimes committed by citizens in various parts of the country. In addition to discrimination against specific races or religious groups, there have been those whose negative attitude toward the handicapped or against LGBTQ people have caused them to slander or even attack innocent people. These are terrible actions on the part of a small number of prejudiced people. But we must never forget that each of us is capable of discrimination. Even during the time of Shakyamuni Buddha, over 2,500 years ago, there was a well-established caste system, discrimination by social class. Discrimination of all kinds has long been part of human history. Shakyamuni Buddha rejected the caste system outright because the concept of the superiority of the richest class denies the value of existence of all others. So today, I'd like to talk a little about how Shakyamuni Buddha viewed the existence of differing lives and what he taught us about the lives of all sentient beings. First, I'd like to share with you a poem written by our founder Shinran. It is the key here. The state of gaining the true mind of non-discrimination is the loving gaze directed at all sentient beings, like that of a parent who truly loves his or her only child. The mind which loves all living beings as a parent loves an only child, that is Buddha nature, will awaken to it on reaching the Pure Land. This poem comes from Shinran's writing, The Hymns of the Pure Land. In this poem, Shinran makes clear that the Buddha embraces all beings equally, as if each of us is his only child, precious and irreplaceable. Shakyamuni Buddha's compassionate mind is condensed and revealed in this passage. So, what is the mind of non-discrimination? Actually, it doesn't discriminate between love and hate. That is, the Buddha's mind is beyond love and hatred. Because such a state is difficult to understand, it is even difficult to imagine it. But it is indeed the state of the Buddha's enlightenment. This means the Buddha is a superior and a noble being who opens for us the world of non-discrimination between love and hatred. As we follow the Buddha's teaching, we reject the idea of discriminatory behavior like racism and always say things like, everyone is equal, without thinking. Of course, this is a really important idea and is quite right. But do we really understand its meaning? There is an interesting story in the Jataka Tales which I'd like to share with you. A long time ago, there was a king called Shibi who was known for his generosity. One day, an injured pigeon, quivering with fear, appeared before the king. When the king saw the pigeon, he felt really sorry for it and wanted to help it. The pigeon told the king, "I'm being chased by a hawk. Please help me." Just at that moment, the hawk flew up to the king and said, Hey you saw a pigeon fly here, right? I found that pigeon. I've eaten nothing for 3 whole days. If I cannot have it, I'll die. So give me that pigeon hiding behind you right now. The king Shibi suggested to the hawk, you should look for the meat of the dead animal instead of this pigeon. But the hawk rejected this idea. No, only the meat and blood of a living animal can sustain my life. The king said, this pigeon came to me for my protection. I cannot just hand it over. To this, the hawk answered, you may think that you are full of compassion if you protect the pigeon, but to save that pigeon means to kill me. After worrying over this dilemma for a while, King Shibi said to the hawk, I understand. All right, what if I give you a part of my body that is the same weight as this pigeon? When the hawk agreed to his proposal, the king ordered his followers to bring a balance scale and then to cut off one of his arms. First, the king placed the pigeon on one plate of the scale, which went down slowly. Next, he placed his arm on the other plate. But neither side of the scale moved at all. The pigeon's side of the balance hung far below the side holding the king's arm. For some reason, the pigeon was heavier than his arm. So he cut off one of his feet and placed it on the scale next to the arm. Again, there was no indication that the weights were equal. The king was puzzled why the scale hadn't moved at all. He was lost in thought for a while. But suddenly he had a realization. He quickly put his entire body onto the scale. Finally, the pigeon's side of the balance started to rise till it was at the same height as the king's, indicating that both sides were equal in weight. This is the story of how King Shibi saved the lives of both the pigeon and the hawk by giving the hawk his body. And when King Shibi was reborn, all by his virtue, he was born as Siddhartha Gautama and attained enlightenment. This is one of the most famous stories of the Jataka Tales, which are about the previous lives of Shakyamuni Buddha. Its title is The Balance Scale of Life. It is a very meaningful story, isn't it? This story teaches us that no matter how small something is, its life is equal to our own. And also, regardless of size or weight, each life is irreplaceable, precious, and unique. It teaches us a severe lesson about how one must sacrifice one's own life to truly realize this equality, as King Shibi did. This is the Buddha's viewpoint. This unforgettable story reminds us of how difficult it is to comprehend the concept of equality. I know you have practiced the Buddhist way in your daily lives, but do you always regard all those whom you love or hate as equals? It is a really difficult practice, isn't it? No matter how hard we try to take action towards the realization of a society free from bias and discrimination, once we see those whom we dislike or hate, we immediately ignore them and talk about them behind their back. Every one of us has one person whom we dislike. But can we open our minds to that person without prejudice like we do to our friends? If not, this is both unfair and egoistic, right? And of course, it is a great contradiction because those who cannot accept and embrace everyone could end up practicing discrimination, such as racism. So, we must never forget that each of us is capable of discrimination. Please remember that the state of enlightenment, namely a mind which doesn't discriminate between love and hate, is to completely defeat our selfish way of thinking. It is also to become fully aware that those whom we love and hate are merely delusions of our own creation. It is not at all that a hateful person stands before us, but rather that we who hate that person stands here. We must understand this reality. When we realize that our feelings of love and hatred are products of our delusional thinking, then the world of seeing all people equally will be open to our view. Unfortunately, we are foolish beings full of blind passions who cannot rid ourselves of this mind of love and hatred until we die. However, in listening to the Nembutsu teaching, we are able to touch the warmth of Amida Buddha's great compassion. Then we truly appreciate that each one of us has only the precious life with which we were born as wished for by Amida Buddha. Amida Buddha made a vow that all living beings will attain enlightenment equally without exception as would his only child. The working which makes us realize his unconditional compassion is the Nembutsu, Namu Amida Butsu. The Nembutsu is the calling voice of Amida Buddha, which is directed at all living beings. Through his noble calling voice, we realize that the lives of all living beings are embraced gently by his warm compassion and illumined brightly with his light of wisdom. When we begin to awake to his true calling voice, we'll be able to understand that all lives are precious and equal to our own. This is how we can create an ultimate world which is beyond love and hatred, where we acknowledge one another by placing our hands together in gassho, respecting and accepting one another openly. Each of us has a love of self, but an ugly self-love which feels superior by looking down on and denying the equal importance of others causes discrimination. Although it is the most difficult effort to escape our shameful and miserable self-love, we should always reflect deeply upon our selfish way of living, saying the Nembutsu as our mind's mirror, and accepting all existence which has Buddha nature. I sincerely hope that we'll look deep into our own sense of discrimination which exists in our mind and heart. By doing so, each of us can get through this terrible pandemic by helping and supporting each other as fellow human beings. Again, thank you very much for everyone listening to my Dharma talk. Please stay healthy and take good care of yourselves. Please join me in gassho. The state of gaining the true mind of non-discrimination is the loving gaze directed at all sentient beings, like that of a parent who truly loves his or her only child. The mind, which loves all living beings as a parent loves an only child, that is Buddha nature, will awaken to it on reaching the Pure Land. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda Butsu, 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 Namanda.